to this virtual classroom. You have gone through class 7. Now we are in class 8. And still we are discussing with the chapter classes and objects. Last class, if you remember, we were discussing about inside class definition and outside class definition. And pertaining to that outside class definition, I had discussed about a practical program, the first practical program. In that first practical program, I said that I'll be writing the third member function, that is the display member function. So that program is about to find the frequency of presence of an element in an array. Ask you to write the member function about the display. We'll be continuing the same practical program here because I want to ensure whether you have written the practical program correctly or not. But before going to that, I would like to go for defining objects of a class. Because it's a separate topic in classes and objects, could be asked for 2 marks with its definition as well as syntax. Whenever we define an object, we need a class. Or when you define a class, there specifies the type of information that the object is going to store. So, taking the class into consideration, we are going to create the object. So both goes hand in hand, classes and objects, as I said before. The syntax will be, you know that, class keyword, then we have the class name, the user defined name, and take as user defined name, then open a bracket. You know that here is the place that we are going to write the members. 2 types of members. One is the data member and the member function. Data members also called as member variables. So, open a file bracket, we are going to write the members. As I said in the earlier classes that we need access specifiers. So, what are the access specifiers? As we discussed before, access specifiers. So, 3 access specifiers are there. What are they? Private, then what? Public, after that, protected, right? Protected. So, private, public and protected. These members when you incorporate in the class, then these members are supposed to come under one of the access specifiers as we have written the syntax before. So I go through the syntax here as private, then private, under that we have the members, data and functions. Likewise, in case we have the members under public, the same syntax could be taken up. Members, so what are the members? Data and functions. Likewise, in case if we are dealing with protected, then members under protected, then data, then function. So, this is the syntax. When we want to create the object, we want this class defined. First, define the class, then we go on taking up the object. The object is created according to the class. So here, I am going to write that user defined name because the name of a class we are going to give user defined underscore name. So this name we give here, try to understand. If there is a semicolon, open a for bracket, all you write, close the for bracket, semicolon. Previous class I told you about semicolon because there is a continuity of this class. Continuity will be of taking up the object or creating the object for this class. So user defined name. This user defined name will be the class name. The class name, and then we are going to write the object name here. So I am going to write in the syntax as object 1, obj1, obj2. Any number of objects we can write. This is the way we will be defining about the objects of a class. And let me go for an example. When I go for an example, here I take class, student, then, so student is the class name, open a round bracket. Here I would like to bring up a point that says, whenever we write or define a class, we need members, right? And these members should be coming under one of the access specifier. But there is another concept, default access specifier. So, when I write about a student, I'll come to that default here. When I write about a student has an information about the register number as well as the name. When I write without any access specifier mentioning int register number, I'm going to write int register number char name. When I write this, you need to understand that I have not written anything here. That means these two members are supposed to come under one of the access specifier, but I am not written it. That means what? The default access specifier, what the computer understands is what? It is private. Though you don't mention the access specifier here, but it is going to consider as private. That is the default access specifier what we have. So these members will be under the private access specifier, even though you have not mentioned. Now, since we need to go according to the syntax, I am writing as private colon, and then the right hand side of this colon we have the two members. Here public. Two member functions I am going to consider. One is void get data, and then void display. So these two are the member functions. So according to the syntax, according to the topic, we are supposed to write about the object, right? So check it out. User defined name is here. That is the class name what you give. Here the class name is student. When you are creating the object, you will be using what? The class name. Here we are going to consider student. But here I have not written a semicolon, I have to write a semicolon. That means the continuity of the class. So student, I am going to write, that is the class name, and then we normally write the first letter of the class name, that is S1, comma, S2, semicolon. So S1 and S2 will be the object of this class. The same thing you can write it in the examination, that is the syntax and its example, and provided according to the topic we have written the defining of objects, two objects. So this is the way we are going to define the object. The next topic after defining objects of a class will be accessing members of a class. So while accessing members of a class, we will be using a dot operator. Hope we have done this in our example programs. So the next topic will be accessing members of a class. Could be asked for 2 mark or a 1 mark question 2. How we will be accessing the members of a class? You know that the class members are the data members and the member function. Normally we create the object of the class. That is, after defining the class, we create the object, and the object is normally in our examples we are creating in void main. When we create that object is used for accessing the members. The syntax for accessing the members of a class will be, first we go for object, that is the object underscore name, then there is a dot operator, This dot operator is also called as the member access operator. After this dot operator, we need to access the member, so we say the member name. This member name could be either member function or a data member. So the object name what we use, as well as the dot operator for accessing, and then member underscore name. If you go through the examples in especially void main, we have used like this. For example, for simple interest, we have said S dot, example I'm giving here, S dot get data. So this could be an example. Hope you are able to understand on this. So one more syntax we have, object underscore name. Then normally we are going to use the member function. In this case of syntax, member function name, function brackets, and then arguments. The arguments which we will be using while accessing the members, because when we call or make a function call, we will be passing on the arguments. So these two will be the syntax for accessing members of a class. The next topic in continuity is arrays as members of the class. Arrays as members of the class. We know already the members are of two categories, data members and member function. So we are going to write the array, and we are going to write that array as a member inside the class. Hence the topic will be arrays as members of the class. So here I like to take an example. So the example is class marks, open a flower bracket. Now we are going to write the members. So I'm going to take int m is our name, m of 6. We are going to take 6 subject marks. Int I. I'm going to take int I. Two members are here. One is an array as per our topic. Int m of 6 subject marks, and the array name is m, and int I we need for the following: to consider 6 elements into an array. So I am not doing anything. That means what? It is private, as I mentioned in the previous topic, defining objects of a class. So int m of 6, int I, two members are there. Then I take public void get data, and then void display. Void get data and void display. These two are the member functions. I close the flower bracket. Now I am going to continue the coding part. Here I am going to use the outside class definition here. Void, then class name marks, scope resolution operator. Then I got get data, open a flower bracket. We are going to consider the 6 marks. Cout, enter 6 subject marks. 6 subject marks. So enter. Then I take the follow. For I equals 0, I has been declared here at a private. I equals 0. I is that, we are going to take 6 subject marks. The array size is 6, so I am not going to say n, since we know the number of elements we are going to consider, and we are going to run this for loop for 6 times. So I am going to say I is than 6, starting from 0 being the index. Then I plus plus. After that, I take C in. So the array name is M, and then here I'm going to say M of I. So this is about taking the input, 6 subject marks. That is, here in get data we will be considering the 6 subject marks, and followed by this get data we have display void. Then again, I need to take the class name, marks, scope resolution operator, signifies that this display or this get data is belonging to the class marks because we are outside class definition. Open a flower bracket. We are going to accept here, we are going to display it here. That is, in get data, we take the input. In display, we are going to print those 6 marks. See out the marks are. The marks are, then I take endl for I equals 0 because we are printing from an array. For I equals 0, I less than 6, that is 6 subject marks, then we are going to write. So see out, I take as m of I and then 6 subjects will be printed one after the other. I close the flower bracket. So this is about the outside class definition, but our point should be about the members, that is arrays as members of a class. This is the array which we are using as a member of the class marks according to the topic. So this is about arrays as members of a class. The next topic we'll be discussing on array of objects. An array having class type elements is known as array of objects. I repeat, an array having class type elements is known as array of objects. An array of objects is declared after we have the class definition. As well, array of objects are declared like any other array. So we'll take an example, that is class employee, open a flower bracket. We'll take 2 data members. One is char name of 25 to store the name of an employee. Likewise, we have int age to store the age of the employee. After that, so here I have not mentioned any access specifier. That means the default access specifier the compiler is going to take is private. So these 2 data members will be under private. Next, I go to public access specifier. Here I accept and I display, that is void get data, function brackets, then void display to display the 2 details of an employee. I close the flower bracket. Now we need to go for the object, that is array of objects. Let us imagine we have 2 categories of employees. One is I am using the class name employee for declaring or creating an object. So employee supervisor. Normally we used to write in single letters. Now I am using as a word here, supervisor, and I am opening an array and I say the size as 5. So this size signifies that the supervisor is an array, but there are no other data types, rather we have a class name. Hence, supervisor of 5 meaning it is an array of objects because we have taken employee. So supervisor can take up the 5 names as well as the age. Likewise, one more array I would like to take, employee. I'll take sales underscore executive. Sales underscore executive I'll take as 10. So here semicolon. Here sales underscore executive I've got the size as 10. So the array of objects, the number of objects here will be 10. When we look at this example, this is a template common to both supervisor as well as sales executive. Name, age comes for supervisor, as well as name age has been used by sales underscore executive. So when we want to access or we want to store the name for supervisor, this is how we are going to take supervisor, the indexing value will be from 0 to 4. The size is 5. Indexing starts from 0 to 4. Supervisor of 0. Now, its name I'm going to store. So, name equals Ramesh, semicolon. So, this supervisor of 0 dot name equals Ramesh. The previous topic we discussed on accessing members. So, this is the member access operator we are going to use while accessing the member, okay, the member of the class using the object. One more, supervisor of 1 name equals Suresh. Now, if you see, I can take till 4 because the array size is what? 5. One more. For sales executive, when I take sales underscore executive of 0, I would like to take again name. This name is under sales underscore executive of 0. There is a first object out of 10. So name equals, I'll take Mahesh. Likewise, if I want to go for age, I can take supervisor of 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, date age equals 25. So, this is how we are going to take the array of objects. Hope you go through this example and understand. Now, we will continue with the previous class what we did. That is, program to find the frequency of presence of an element in an array. So that program I rewrite. Kindly cross check what I am writing, because make sure that you also have written the same thing, but if any mistakes are there, correct it. So the program was what? Program to find the frequency of presence of an element in an array. Okay, this is the question. This is the program question. So what we do is, we are going to construct the program hash include IOStream dot h. Kindly cross check what you have written. Hash include conio dot h. Then we have class name here, taking the keyword class as well as the name of the class is frequency. Open a flower bracket. I had taken few private members, data members as int a of 100, then comma n. After that, I took int ele, comma freq. Freq means the number of times an element is found in an array or its occurrence. Then I take public void get data, then void find freq, that is frequency, then void display. In fact, I told you that I'll be writing about the display. Hopefully, you have written about the get data and find frequency. Once again, cross check. I close the flower bracket, semicolon, then I come to outside class definition, then I write void, then I say frequency frequency scope resolution operator. You know about scope resolution operator. So scope resolution operator resolves the conflict of being a member function to a particular class. Then I write get data. Hope you have written the same thing as in the previous class. Open a flower bracket, then I write cout, enter the number of elements. You want to add continuity of the statement with in an array also you can do. Endl. Then I take cin, that is the member n, I have taken data member, the variable n. Then I take cout, enter the elements, n elements, enter the n elements. Then I take for loop. Because we are dealing with an array, we need a for loop. It's a one-dimensional array, so one for loop for I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Likewise, we need to accept those n elements. So cin will be repeated n number of times, cin a of I. That is, enter the number of elements. Then we have enter the elements we are going to consider. The third input will be the element which you want to find for its occurrence in an array. So I take as enter the element, In the previous class I had written as enter the element to search. It is also right, but I am going to write here as enter the element to find its occurrence, Endl. I have written in 2 lines here, please cross check. 2 lines I have written, enter the element to find its. So this element will be taken in cin ELE, and then I close the member function, that is get data member function, I close. This will be about the input part. Enter the number of elements, n elements you are going to enter, and you are going to accept those n elements using an array. And array is accepting the elements using the for loop. Then the element which we want to find, that is taken in ELE. Further moving, void frequency, scope resolution operator, the second member function, find FREQ, then I open a flower bracket. After that I write FREQ equals 0, because initial value of this frequency or FREQ, which is considered as to count the number of times this element is going to occur, whether it is occurring or not. If it is occurring, so many number of times it is going to occur, maybe once or twice or thrice. So FREQ will be noting down 0. I said about the garbage value last class. So the garbage value will be removed, 0 will be considered as the initial value. Then I take the for loop for I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus, because we are doing the traversing from the beginning to the end of the array. Then we take if this ELE is equal to A of I. As we move on with the array, we check whether this finding element is found or not in this array. So ELE double equals A of 0. If it is found, we are going to increment the counter, frequency plus plus. So its explanation has been given in the previous class. Kindly go through it. Then I close it. Now this is what I discussed, that I will be writing about the display, void frequency, scope resolution operator, then display, open a flower bracket. After taking up the logic part, we will be coming to know that this frequency has got a value. If this frequency is not incremented and it is with the same value what we initialized here as 0, that means the element is not found. I would like to repeat, if there is a value other than 0 in this frequency, that means the element is found in the array. If till the end of the program or till the end of its execution logic part, if the frequency is not incremented, if it is still 0, that means that no elements have been compared, no element have been found in the array. Hence, what we do is we write a condition something like this. If frequency is greater than 0, try understanding this. If frequency FREQ greater than 0, that means what? If the element is found, it should start incrementing from 0. If it is found once, we are going to say plus plus. That is ELE double equals A of 0 or A of 1 or A of 2. So it is going to find the element. If it is found, frequency counter will be incremented, and here once the counter is incremented, the output is depending on this condition. So FREQ greater than 0, then I am going to say as what? Cout. The frequency of, I need to print the element which we are finding, that is ELE, the frequency of ELE. I'm going to take the stream insertion operator, ELE is. So the number of times it is found, that is FREQ. Then I say end L. The else part of this if clause will be, that is else Cout, this element does not exist. So that is the element ELE does not exist. So this will be the else. So the else part will be Cout, the element ELE does not exist. Then I may take end L or not. Here the program ends. The last class I discussed about the same program, but I rewrote this program because I want to ensure whether you have written rightly or not. Because last class I said I will be discussing about the display. Display should be proper here. If frequency, the true part and the false part, that is the existing of the element, the number of times that element is found and not found depends on the count. If the frequency's value is greater than 0, that means I said that the element is found. Could be once or twice. Please go through the previous program's logic which I had given the explanation by drawing the array. And here we will be taking the true part as the frequency of ELE is these many number of times. Likewise, the element, if it is not found, comes under else part. All depends on frequency greater than 0. This is the condition. If frequency is 0, it will come to the else part. That means no element is found. So this is the program. Rewrite in your page again. Try to practice a lot. Go through it. So in the next class we shall meet. That will be class 9. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.